It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Talk about it.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, Joe Biden recently said that he's excusing $10,000, correct?
Well, $10,000 if you make less than $125,000. And if you have a Pell Grant, which is for lower income, then you'll get $20,000 excused.
So we're asking 800-585-1051. What are your thoughts? What do you think, E?
I mean, I wish I would have had that. You know, it took me 12 years to pay back my student loans, and it was definitely a struggle. And it is going to forgive a lot of student loans for people who, you know, don't have as much left to pay off. And so I think it does help a lot. And so I'm glad it happened. I don't think it's happened before. And yeah, I think it's a positive thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's glad anytime anybody can take any type of money off, but I do wish it was a lot more. And especially when I see them helping so many other countries and helping so many other corporations, and these corporations that are making billions of dollars, and all these other countries are able to allow their residents and citizens to get school loans for free, you know, that where they go to school for free. So I absolutely love it, but I wish there was more. Charlamagne?
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, that was his campaign promise. He's been on that. He's been on the whole $10,000 in student loan forgiveness. So I respect it. You know, I know any relief is great relief, especially at a time like this when people are struggling so much financially. And yes, I wish it was more, but once again, the reality is this was his campaign promise. It was politicians out there who wanted to wipe away the debt altogether, like Bernie Sanders. But that's not who people voted for. They voted for, you know, Joe Biden.
And there's politicians who didn't want anybody to get anything.
That is true, too. Yeah. Well, let's go to the phone lines. Let's talk to the people. Hello, who's this?
This is Dee.
Hey, Dee. Good morning. Where you calling from?
I'm in North Carolina.
All right. What's your thoughts on the $10,000 forgiveness?
I don't think it's enough money. First of all, you know, they calculate those student loan payments into the ability to buy a house. So a lot of people are still counting out. It's a lot of older adults who got like over $100,000, maybe $200,000 worth of student loan debt. And when you go to buy a house, they say no because the payment that they factor in is too much.
That is true.
He gave way too much money to Ukraine with no blinks, no vote. It didn't take him no time. But all of a sudden, these $10,000, you got a hard time giving $10,000. And then, I don't know if you guys read the fine print. It says up to $10,000. Mm-hmm. It's not just
I thought $10,000 was the minimum. Oh,
no,
okay. Yeah, I thought $10,000 was the minimum.
And that's ridiculous. So, you know, luckily I make more than six figures. So, that it might hurt me, but, you know, other people, it's a lot of money. I mean, that's no money. $10,000, what are you going to, that's interest.
Now, don't say that now. That is a lot of money to some of these people, especially people that are doing horribly financially right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's going to be a lot for some people, but then other people, it's really not. I still believe he could have gave way more. He not your 50.
Yeah, it's not enough for your balling ass.
No.
And let's be clear. The Republicans are saying that this is unfair, and they don't think that this is something that even should be done at all. They slam this. They're upset about it.
Well, it's not. That's the problem, though. It's not just Republicans. Politicians have a problem with actually giving money to people. It is so strange to me. Whenever it's people that actually need money, they can never find it. They don't know where the money coming from. But when it's money for wars, you know, that money comes out of nowhere.
Bailouts,
they give billions to Ukraine.
They get it immediately. Bailouts as well. All right.
Corporations, nobody has any problem with wondering where that money comes from. But when it's something for the people, now all of a sudden everybody's like, well, where are we going to get the money?
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Zay from Myrtle Beach.
Hey, Zay, good morning.
Myrtle.
What's up, Envy? Yeah, listen, man, I'm thankful for Biden. I'm grateful. I voted for Biden personally, and I'm grateful. I was looking forward to this because for people like me, I went to a community college, so my total, my loan is only like $27,000. So, and I got the Pell Grant. So if I get $20,000, I'm sitting outside work trying to figure out how to apply right now.
We're gonna find out in the coming days, so we'll get all that information and make sure we pass it on too.
No, that's the most important part of this. that's the most important part, because during the when they was giving them small business loans out, that's why a lot of people couldn't get small business loans, because they didn't know how to properly fill out the paperwork. It was the people who could properly fill out the paperwork that got that money faster. Even the scammers. The scammers knew how to fill out the paperwork better than some people who actually needed it.
So we're asking 800-585-1051. What are your thoughts on this? Hello, who's this?
Hello, how are you?
Good morning. What's your name?
Brooklyn Renee, how are you guys?
Hey, Brooklyn Renee, talk to us. What are your
Hey,
thoughts?
Brooklyn Renee.
Oh, God. This student loan thing is just the craziest thing. I retired. I was in a loan forgiveness program, right? You have to make 120 payments, right? Now, I got 18 payments left. They going to tell me I got to get, after I retired after 38 years, I got to work. Doggone a non-profit job or go back to work 35 hours. I only can make one payment at a time because I was going to take it with my deferred comp money and pay it off. But that's not an option because you only can pay one payment a month. So it's like it's stuck in this bundle where you can't get out. I'm talking the Fed loan, everything. Now, this forgiveness program, that ain't working for me because $10,000 ain't going to do me no good. Then on top of that, I work for AmeriCorps for 3 sessions, and they give you $3,000. They can't find my money. My first loan person was Sally Mae, and that don't qualify to dismiss because it has to be a school that got a problem. It is too confusing, too frustrating. You know, I wrote the president 3 times. He ain't answered me back. Somebody else in the office answered me back. It's like it's insane. You know, and
So let me ask you a question. You don't want the $10,000 is what you're saying.
I don't qualify for the $10,000. They said you have to make.
But if you did, would you want it?
That's not an option. You know why? Because I have a good pension. Okay, even though I'm getting one. That's another thing. I'm getting 1/3 of a doggone pension since doggone January because they're so backed up. That's not an option for me. So I'm gonna be stuck with this stupid loan. But I'm gonna keep writing. I might go on. I'm just disgusted with the whole thing. Right. And for you to be forgiven, the first one, it has to be I went to a university. I went to the City College of New York. Okay, I got my master's. Well, it's just insane.
Wait, why do you say you don't qualify?
He said $10,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to make $125,000.
No, you have to make less than $125,000.
I don't make that.
I know you make less.
That means you're good.
Oh, you make more than that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's like even the one from before is not an option for me. I'm going to keep writing them because I'm tired. Keep writing. He's going to think I'm a stalker or something. Find something for me. Because the first one was your school. You had to have an issue with your school. The schools and those are those little side colleges and stuff. But if you was in a university, everything was good. Okay? So it's just bull. I'm just frustrated.
Okay, I feel it.
I don't want to take my deferred comp, my money that I saved and worked for, and pay off this loan. I owe 36 G's, and I'm just like tired.
Damn.
You know, it's just disgusting.
Well, thank you for calling in, Mama.
That works for everybody. Y'all have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Let's go to another caller. Hello, who's this?
This is Jack.
Hey, what are your thoughts,
upset,
Jack?
Why you sound so mad, Jack?
Oh, I'm not mad. Good morning. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What's
Good
your
morning.
thoughts,
Yeah,
Jack?
you sound a little angry and a little.
You definitely sound a little angry,
angry
Jack.
white, like angry white man.
Oh, you're going there.
Talk to us, Jack. What's happening?
Right off the bat. Hey, I think the loan forgiveness is just weak pandering, and I think it's unfair and unfair against those people that have worked the hardest. When you do that, you de-incentivize people from working hard. That hurts the country, and it's just a bad plan. You guys compared it to the PPP loan, and the PPP loans or whatever that PPP situation was, that was fair because it was unbiased. It didn't hurt people that worked the hardest.
Oh, no, it was definitely biased.
The opposite.
It was biased. It was systemically proven that it was biased.
How do you figure that?
There were a lot of major corporations that got that money that really didn't need it.
Okay.
Yeah, before small minority-owned businesses.
Yeah, and then for people who for a small business, you might pay people cash. You might not have the right paperwork.
It's facts, Jack.
If you didn't have a good accountant that could apply for it for you, it was a lot of paperwork that was confusing.
Oh, see, now you're making stuff up because I am a small business owner, and I did a PPP loan, and it was the easiest application that I've done for anything in my life.
You do know that a lot of people that deserve to get it didn't get it though, right? And that they ran out of money.
Well, again, you guys.
My brother, Jack.
I give you that one, man. They did run out of money.
Well, not only that, Jack. I mean, there's a million articles from the New York Times to the Washington Post that talked about the racial bias that skewed small business relief lending. So, I mean, you can sit here and say that's not a fact, but it was absolutely a fact.
You know what? You can have a study that
it's a fact. It is a it's a fact that racial bias affected who received PPP loans.
I do know personally a lot of people who applied that should have gotten it.
Doesn't make it. Just saying that doesn't make it true. They didn't ask my race when I received it. It was like a 3-question application. Bing, bang, boom, paid me the money. And so, it's about getting it together and clicking 3 buttons,
Jack,
and they paid the PPP.
Do you know black business owners were more likely to get PPP loans from online lenders than from banks? And I mean, it's been documented a million times how racially biased the bank system is. But you do agree with that, right?
I don't think that made sense what you just said. With all due respect, you said black business owners were more likely to get it from local banks. Okay. What's that mean?
No, I said online. I said online lenders than from banks.
So they don't see you.
You see how white people twist your words?
Let me ask you this: so you think that there shouldn't be any student debt loan forgiveness?
The only way you could get a PPP loan was by online. It wasn't in person. So that was a invalid point. So go ahead, ma'am. Sorry.
I was asking you. So you think that there shouldn't be any student loan forgiveness?
I do not think so. I think it can. That's fine. But how do you reconcile that with those people that, did not go to college, that are out there digging ditches or being a plumber or electrician or working hard because they did not have the funds to go to college? They had to support their families or whatever. They sacrificed. So now you're punishing them by forgiving loans for college students that took advantage of college lending. So it's imbalanced, and I think that's unfair.
I think. Well, Jack,
but
Jack,
I don't.
Jack,
he's entitled to his opinion.
Stop. Yeah. Mr. Ass is entitled to his opinion. But Jack, listen, I want to ask you this about student loan debt. Do you think in the future it should be set up with a forgiveness plan in place like PPP? Because college loans were set up to take out the loan with intentions of paying it back. So, that's just how it's designed. Do you think in the future student loan debt should be set up with more of a forgiveness plan like PPP was? What do you think about that?
I think if the government wants to take a fair action, they should go after the universities to lower their pricing. It's just got to be equal to everybody. In nature, we reward those that advance themselves, right? So I think it's against nature to first give people money to go to school when others are sacrificing. For instance, I waited to get married. Yeah, I waited to get married and have kids until I could afford it, right? I didn't I was out there working. So I sacrificed, and many people maybe skip medical care for themselves and make other sacrifices to be responsible.
What's wrong with assistance, Jack?
I just want to say, but even with PPP loans, does that mean that you're punishing people who don't own businesses?
No, because they're employing people. That's the purpose of it, is they're keeping their employees, and that's why they got the PPP loans.
Oh, we'll see.
That's not.
Well, Jack, a lot of people didn't go to college because they can't afford to go to college, and they can't afford to do it. So hopefully this program will help them with the loans. So, and it just doesn't help minorities. It helps white people. It helps Asian people. It helps black people. It helps Spanish people. It helps everybody. But the fact that you can now go to school and not have to work until you're 60 years old paying off your school loan and get some type of help, that's what we're trying to offer people, not just minorities, not blacks, not Spanish. They didn't put a little side and said only black people, Jack. They said for everybody.
Well,
Jack is a pull them up by the bootstraps type of person.
Racial thing.
Jack, we got to joke.
Yeah, Jack, we gotta go.
It is.
One more.
Well, thank you.
You're punishing
always
those
racial.
people that are working hardest and saved and paid cash for their college or paid their loans off already. Those are the people.
But what's
that are
wrong? But what's
I
wrong?
will say this. I
Thank
went
you,
to
guys.
college.
We
I
appreciate
paid
you.
off my student loans, and I'm not mad at other people not having to have that that crippling effect of having to pay that monthly payment every month and working. I remember I was making like $23,000 a year and paying student loans at the same time, and I kept having to defer my loans. But I think this is a great thing and a great benefit. And just because I didn't get it doesn't mean that I don't want other people to not get it.
All right. Well, we got
Yo,
rumors on the way.
It's simple. But it's simple for me. Why wouldn't you just provide somebody assistance? Why are you mad at people receiving some type of assistance? It's really just that simple. And it was a campaign promise. He kept it. He always said it was going to be $10,000 in student loan debt. If you wanted someone who wanted to erase all the student loan debt or who wanted to erase more than $10,000, then you should have voted for that person. Because Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders wanted to do more or all. If you wanted that, you should have voted for them. Simple.
All right. Well, we got rumors on the way.
Yes, and let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Young Miami. Okay, let's talk about their interview that is going to be dropping, I believe, today.
All right. We'll get to it next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.